No.
Oh, shit! Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
Oh my
no.
goodness!
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
Boom! Perfect shot.
And it ended in the way that it should. Sometimes a story ends in the way that the story should end. It always should have ended with Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul. And that's exactly what we got. But I think it's time that people give Paul some credit for what he did, what he has done for boxing.
He's hurt.
It's over. It's over.
Hey, my boxing knowledge is impeccable. 6 rounds.
He got up again.
My 50,000 is safe.
Just to follow up on Jake, he said he broke his jaw in the aftermath. Has he gone to hospital? What's the health update on Jake?
Yeah, we think he broke his jaw. He's fine. We met with Netflix afterwards. He took a shower. He drove himself to the hospital. A broken jaw is very common in sports, particularly in boxing or MMA, and I think the recovery time from the doctors and surgeons we've already talked to is 4 to 6 weeks.
Anthony Joshua didn't step into the ring just to spar with Jake Paul. He showed up like a man punching the clock for serious work, focused, professional, and not at all interested in influencer hype.
When I could. It was a bit messy, but from a systematical breakdown, the right hand landed, it found its home, and the referee waved it off after. Did he get counted out or did the ref wave it off?
I believe he got counted out.
So the right hand found its home.
Out, yeah.
I would have loved to have landed some more body shots, but it weren't for tonight, maybe in the future, but we got the job done in the end anyway.
From the first bell, Jake moved nervously, circling fast like someone trying to escape trouble, while AJ stayed calm and patient. He cut off the ring the way a seasoned heavyweight does. No rush, no panic, just steady pressure that felt unavoidable.
Incredible knockout. What do you think?
I think he did what he had to do. He went out there, took his time, chased him down, unloaded and got the knockout. So it's what we were expecting. I thought it'd be earlier, but he got the job done. So congratulations to Joshua.
What's next for Jake Paul? Should he retire? Should he fight on?
He can do whatever he wants. If he wants to continue.
What about Joshua? You want to beat with Joshua?
Always.
To Jake's credit, he had early moments. He slipped shots, touched with a jab, and gave his supporters brief hope that he belonged there. But this wasn't about rhythm or style. It felt like a work zone, and Joshua came prepared. Every clinch turned into a grind, with AJ leaning on him and making him carry real weight.
Impressed the fact that Jake lasted so long, or I don't know, what's your take on it?
Not really. I expected that, you know.
You expected him to last?
I mean, I expected Jake to fight the way he fought.
Right.
You know, trying to stay away. You don't know if how long that's gonna last. You know, Joshua has something to say about that. So you don't know, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
Right. Were you, I don't know, impressed by anything Jake did? Maybe getting, I mean, he took a right hand to heavyweights have taken and got
Jake
up.
is tough, man, and that's what I try to tell people when they try to completely discredit him. No, Jake Paul is not the face of boxing, and yes, that's disrespectful to the guys that been doing it from the crib. But you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, bro. Like, he's been training, and he knows enough in that ring to be able to, you know, protect himself, and he's a tough kid.
Joshua kept draining him, stealing energy and air, shrinking the ring step by step. By the middle rounds, Jake wasn't executing a plan anymore. He was moving non-stop, holding, stumbling, and searching for breaks that boxing doesn't allow. Even the referees seemed fed up, reminding them this wasn't a wrestling match.
Yeah, I knew we were going to beat him, but I didn't expect it to go as many rounds as it did. And I think Jake deserves a huge amount of credit, because I know he ran and held, but he did throw shots at times. But where I think he deserves credit is he took some punishment. And that shot was a similar right hand that flattened Ngannou and put him to sleep. And I know it shattered Jake Paul's jaw and broke his jaw, but he was, I mean, it wasn't okay, but he was on, you know, he was awake. So I've got to give him credit. I think he's a crazy
Then came round 6. Joshua finally found the opening and landed a right hand that ended everything instantly. Jake went down, the noise stopped, and the lesson was clear. It wasn't wild or reckless. It was controlled pressure. Confidence matters, movement helps, but in heavyweight boxing, strength and gravity always decide. And AJ understands that perfectly.
That what happened what was always going to happen. You know, a lot of people thought it would only last 1 round, 2 rounds, but you know, you've got to give Jake credit. You know, he went out there and had a solid game plan and was implementing it at times, was landing shots and was avoiding getting hit with the big shots. You know, but there's a reason we have weight categories in boxing, and I'd say he sticks with, you know, the cruiserweight division where the guys are the same size as him, because that, you know, without having the schooling, the many years, I was able to give away 100 pounds in weight because I've been boxing since I was 10.
When the fight ended and the crowd quieted, Joshua spoke with the calm of someone who had done his job and was already thinking ahead. No celebrating, no bragging. He talked about reading Jake early, choosing pressure over chasing, and treating the fight like something that required patience. When he mentioned mental pressure, it wasn't talk. It was experience speaking. Heavyweights don't just hit you physically, they wear on your mind.
Or Jake would have moved around the ring at 100 miles an hour. There's 2 things I would have done. Tried to shut Jake down at 100 miles an hour, or I would have gone on the back foot. So Jake decided to move around the ring, and I decided to put the pressure on. What I could have done better is a lot of things. 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best.
Joshua also gave Jake his respect, praising his courage and toughness for stepping in when many would only talk. Then Eddie Hearn added his thoughts, sounding proud but realistic. He admitted the fight was always a huge challenge, said it was one-sided, but still credited Jake for lasting, adjusting, and finishing on his feet. That wasn't sympathy. That was boxing honesty.
Can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticise people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually on his feet after the stoppage. So, you know, I think he'll have to see physically how that jaw, I don't know the severity of it. It's a very difficult injury to come back from. But he showed he's got ability, and that's what we said. You know, he's dedicated to the game.
He has got ability.
What stood out was that AJ still wasn't satisfied. That's how champions think. He made it clear you can't survive on viral moments forever. Improvement is mandatory. When he talked about future plans, guidance, and removing distractions, it sounded like a fighter still sharpening his skills. This wasn't just entertainment. It was experience overpowering movement and showing that growth doesn't stop after a win.
And is entering next year?
So, the best promoter in the world has been speaking with Turkey, His Excellency, Riyadh season, and now he's going to relay those messages and speak to my training team, the Right to Fight team. They're going to have conversations, they're going to speak to my manager, and everyone's going to kind of see where I'm at. My training team know my body really well. They know what I've been through over the X amount of weeks I've been with them. So it's up to them to make a decision. They're gonna speak with Eddie, and then hopefully in a week or so, I'll have some news. I'm a strong guy. I want to push on, but the coaches, it's really up to them. They're the ones that guide.
After that serious tone, the camera shifted to Logan Paul, sounding like a proud older brother who had just watched something intense. This wasn't promotion. It was family. He focused less on results and more on the fact that Jake stood in front of a massive heavyweight and didn't quit. That alone changed expectations. Most people wouldn't even try what Jake did.
I'm just so proud of him. That was incredible. In my view, that was a victory on all fronts. Right. Like, minus the actual victory, of course, but bro, like, no one expected him to last 6 rounds with AJ. In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People will argue that he at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fighting, man. Like, that's toughness.
Logan talked about injuries, pain, and Jake pushing through anyway. It sounded more like a survival story than a fight recap. He even admitted he may have stirred things up too much, then realized that Joshua is someone who does real damage for a living. It was pure sibling energy. Support your brother, poke the giant, then accept reality. He wasn't pretending it went perfectly, just proud Jake stayed mentally strong. That kind of confidence doesn't come from fantasy. It comes from enduring something most people would never attempt.
Most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet, who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. That's insane. He's one of the most skilled fighters on the planet. My brother, as a YouTuber, went 6 rounds with him in a fight with a broken jaw and rolled ankle. I'm so proud of him. That was just unbelievable.
I saw you talking crap to AJ at one point.
I was trying to get his head. I think I pissed him off. I was just saying that. I love AJ.
Yeah.
But bro,
I saw you going down the fight game.
I was talking so much. But I just pissed him off. Then he broke my brother's jaw. This guy.
Broke his jaw, huh?
Yeah, he split his jaw.
Then the mood shifted again when Daniel Cormier stepped in. No family emotion, just cold truth. DC spoke like someone who knows how real fights work. He wasn't insulting or disrespectful. He was direct. Belief is fine. Movement helps. But size and pressure eventually catch you. You could hear how he framed Joshua as representing boxing itself, not just one fighter. When he joked about betting on Jake, it wasn't humor. It was reality.
Some people believe in fairy tales. Whoever believed that Jake Paul was going to win, that was an absolute fairy tale. I've got a friend in a group message that said, I just put $20 on Jake Paul to win. I was like, bro, you just wasted your money. There was never a world in which Jake Paul was going to beat Anthony Joshua. It was always a matter of how the fight would end. So
DC made it clear this wasn't a movie story. There was no surprise power-up coming. This was a heavyweight calmly collecting information until the moment arrived. He broke down the running, clinching, and survival tactics with ease. When a big fighter keeps walking forward without panic, he's not confused. He's waiting. Joshua let time do the work.
So the fight starts. Joshua cannot catch up to Jake. You can see very clearly that the game plan was for Paul to kind of run and frustrate Anthony Joshua over the course of this fight. And through the first few rounds, it was working. Hell, in the first round, neither one of them landed a damn punch. And that's the problem with boxing. The problem with boxing is you can get these fights that have all this hype and nothing happens.
DC also pointed out the wrestling moments and awkward exchanges, saying that's what happens when different worlds mix. When Joshua realized Jake's best effort couldn't move him, that was the turning point. From there, the outcome was only a matter of time. DC didn't hype the finish. He treated it as the proper ending. Jake earned respect for stepping in, but the ring delivered the truth. No shortcuts, no tricks, just boxing working as it always has.
Sometimes a story ends in the way that the story should end. It always should have ended with Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul. And that's exactly what we got. But I think it's time that people give Paul some credit for what he did, what he has done for boxing, and his ability and willingness to stand in there.
When you look at the full night, it wasn't about mocking belief or celebrating hype. It was belief being tested by experience, pressure, and time. Jake showed heart and confidence that creates big moments. Joshua showed why heavyweight boxing still depends on discipline and consequences. One chased a dream. The other enforced reality. The ring listened to both and chose its winner. Now it's your turn. Was it heart, hype, or hard truth that stood out most? Share your thoughts respectfully. Like, share, and subscribe to The King Boxing. See you next time.